After a wild qualifying session here after a very wild qualifying race here at Talladega, the paddock will be a bit, I think, testy entering this race. A lot of people are worried about the high speeds of this track because this wicker idea that they tried doing isn't working. There's a wicker that they're trying to put onto the back of the cars to slow them down a bit, and it hasn't worked, and in fact, it's only packed up the field a bit more. We saw a very high attrition qualifying race, and there's a lot of concern about what's going to happen as this race progresses. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with that kind of situations, and a lot of concerns about that. So there's a very young field in this race. We've got a couple of first-time starters. Blaze McKinney's in. I don't know if Bejianov made the race before. Yamatoshi made the main event this weekend. First-time Richard Baxter has made the grid, so that I believe puts every team at least on the grid once this year. So every team has made the grid, and the McBaxter's 13 car, and I think the other one is Captain Baxter's, I'm not sure, are on the grid this weekend. Anyway, let's go down to the race. Tristan Wilhoit leads the field of 39 down to the grid as Matthias Paulsen's coming down pit road. Green flag is out, and away we go. That is Tyler Faber on his outside. Faber has never won an Orion Elite Series race ever before. Could today be his day? Those Koenigsegg Agueros look very fast for Nokia Finland. As they rocket down the back straightaway, there's a lot of concern that this race could be a bit of a crash fest after a pretty wild qualifying race. But here comes Roman Rahal, the driver from, I believe, Northwest Ohio now, is going to lead, but Faber leads this race, and I think that's going to be hard to beat. Tyler Faber is pretty quick around this track, and those Koenigsegg Agueros are. I believe their teammate Sean Angel started a little bit further back on the grid, but so far it's actually been a cleaner start than we saw in the qualifying race. And that's kind of important here. They actually do have to let off the throttle a bit entering turn one due to a bump down there. But 238, 239 miles an hour is very fast for this track as they rocket down the back straightaway for the second time. This is a 200-mile race. Here's Callum Lucas, the winner of the qualifying race. He's doing very well here at Talladega. One of these drivers that he also qualified on pole for the qualifier at Daytona. We go up the order. Ethan Moore, though, is leading. Oh, we got Ben Atkins going up in smoke in the back, I see. Atkins is up in smoke, and that is not good for Ben Atkins. And holds up Baranowskis, and I believe that's Lethine, Joki Lethine in there. Back a little further, we have Blaze McKinney, Satoshi Yamatoshi, and Damir Bejianov, but Atkins is going to be the first car falling out of the race here on just starting lap 3 as Roman Rahal takes the lead with Madeline Myatt and Lucien Ekdahl. A little further back, you've got this group of cars got held up pretty badly when Atkins grenaded, so there's a long way to go there, and then there's Baranowskis and Lethinen who got held up even more. See, there's the pack up there, and actually looks like the 12 of DJ Curtis and the 7 of Vanderpesch are very slow on track now. I think they get out into the wall on the outside. Yeah, right there, they get into the wall, and that's going to be a problem for both Curtis and Vanderpesch, as they're going to lose a lot of momentum and lose the lead pack. They're going to be hoping for a caution pretty quickly in this race. Meanwhile, Callum Lucas is now leading the race with Sean Angel in second. Angel's worked his way through the field, and now another Aguera is going to take the lead. So the Koenigsegg Agueras are by far the dominant car of the day with help from Jacob Hart back there. That is a very, very good move there by the Agueras to take the lead, but great run so far by Callum Lucas. Lucas has been kind of an anonymous rookie here, but Lucas is doing the best he can with the equipment he has, because Durban Sport cars aren't the best, but they're not bad, to say the least. Here's two drivers that all weekend have been working together ever since Madeline Myatt got through the qualifier. The 18 of Noah Hart and the 11 of Madeline Myatt have been actually really close to each other all weekend, doing a good job drafting with each other. Madeline Myatt had said in the pre-race that she was going to work with a couple of veteran drivers who know Talladega quite well to get through the order, and she's actually sitting in a pretty nice batch there. Oh, Jacob Hart and Lucas are in the wall. Collium Lucas is going to lose the main pack. I was just singing his praises there, but Collium Lucas is going to fall out. That's not, or is going to lose the main pack there, but back up front, we've got Sean Angel and leading this pack around. Lucian Ekdahl would also get into the wall and lose the main pack, so the main pack is starting to spread out a little bit here, which is good because we were expecting this race to be a bit of a crash fest, and thankfully it hasn't been the case, as Ekdahl now has lost the main group. I think actually Pericles did as well. Shishota Yamatoshi would be the first lapped car for the pack to deal with here, as you could maybe see on the backstretch. The pack is catching Yamatoshi. Yamatoshi is going to need to play this game quite well here, because this is she's going to need to be a good back marker. The volume thing came up there, but going to need to be a good back marker, because you don't want a bad back marker here at Talladega. That will cause massive problems. But the pack is down low. Angel's going to get held up here. Will anybody try and go to the high line? Looks like Noah Hart's trying to make a move, but Yamatoshi goes up to block Hart. And not being a very good back marker by Yamatoshi's not being a very good back marker, to say the least. But Ethan Moore was a big gainer there, and something happened there, but our clip cut out for a sec there, but it's back now. But Yamatoshi is not doing a very good job being a back marker. Meanwhile, the second pack now has a chance to catch, because that main pack is spread out a bit there. There's Tanya Jackwater doing a great job for the Marlon Fairdays, the slowest car in a straight line. Jackwater is doing a pretty good job being in this race, to be honest with you. Good job by the Faraday. But anyway, Eugene DeMax now, actually, well, Lucas is going to get held up on the outside line, so DeMax is going to lead this pack around, and I think they need a single file out a bit here, and then they can maybe catch the leading group. Remember, pit stop strategy could be a bit of a thing here in this race. This race has a long period of green flag running. Sean Angel's now caught the lap car of Matthias Paulsen. Paulsen is not doing a very good job, or had a tire go down on the pace lap, and now is struggling here, but Paulsen is fast. They are going to try and catch Bezyanov and McKinney, who are coming up to lap, rather. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fade there. But that's going to be very interesting, because, like I said, the Menervinis and the team, or the Richard Baxter cars, which are the Yamatoshi and McKinney, are not very fast. There's Kyle Collins. Kyle Collins on the inside has been one of the only cars that has kept up with the Koenigsegg Agueras this weekend. During practice session, Collins is looking quite strong here at Talladega, and I'm interested to see if Collins can maybe mount a charge. The leaders now are coming up to lap Bezyanov's Menervini and McKinney's Richard Baxter Motorsports car, the RBM. And the Baxter cars are by far one of the slowest cars in the race, but it seems like they both are doing a pretty decent job getting out of the way. It looks like Sanford almost got into Bezyanov there, but I see Bezyanov is trying his best to just stay out of the way. Likewise, I would say the Baxter car, McKinney's going to do the same, which is a very important thing, because we're seeing these two lap cars are a little bit better off than maybe Yamatoshi is, who Yamatoshi teaming tried to block the main pack and almost fight going a lap down, even though Yamatoshi was really slow. Tyler Thaber leads this race now, as the outside line now is starting to get a big run there with Sean Angel and Nick Pericles back there. There's Ryan Griffin in this lead pack as well, so we're starting to see some of the big players at Daytona are at the front of this field now. I think every one of these top 5 cars were contending for the win at Daytona. I'm not sure about Collins, though. Here comes Nathan McCain starting toward the back. Here comes Madeline Myatt, Nick Pericles, and one of the Red Bulls to pit road. And we're getting green flag pit stop 17 laps into the race, so that's going to be a very interesting showdown there. So Thaber and the rest of the field come down the next lap, and that's going to be important, because now you're going to start seeing pit stop strategy and green flag pit stop spread out this field. So that's actually going to make it a lot easier to avoid having some massive crash. Typically we do see a big one in these super speedway races, but we might not today, if we get lucky. Joki Lathinen was the only car to stay out an extra lap. He's all by himself, And Lethinen pretty much needs this after having issues with the lap traffic. And he's going to try and gamble a bit here, hope that there was a caution, maybe catch the rest of the field napping. That doesn't look like to be the case. As Lethinen the next lap, no caution for him. With a tough break for Joki Lethinen. As the rest of the field comes out of the pits, it's going to be a very interesting pit strategy game here to see who comes out, or which strategy was the best. Is actually Faber is going to get split off from Griffin here, because Griffin's going to be stuck behind the slow McKinney car, and then McBaxter's McKinney car, popular fast food chain in down here in Alabama, McBaxter's. As here comes the field running around. There's the 11 and the 18 once again, as here comes the McBaxter's McKinney car, or McKinney's McBaxter's car down the pits, and there's Yamatoshi, who I think has a problem. Yes, Yamatoshi has a tire going down and would have to bring it down pit road, or there might be something more serious wrong with that car, I'm not sure. Madeline Myatt now, Madeline Myatt and a couple other cars are starting to lose this pack. That's Nick Hercules and Charles Samper. They have lost the leading group there, and actually Samper's coming down pit road again. He's got a overheating issue, and he actually would not rejoin the race the rest of the distance, so Samper would fall out of the race. Same with Chris Washer right there. You maybe saw Washer's on pit road. He would actually fall out of the race as well. So now you're seeing Kyle Collins, William Brock, Tristan Wilhoit, and Tanya Jackwater now are trying to get up the order now. They're starting to form a bit of a pack, which is good because only the leaders are pretty much spread out. And this pack is a little further back even, led by Kaliam Lucas and Moshe Gurian. The Israeli driver are now really fighting hard just to try and get lined up and maybe try and do some stuff, which is a very good way to try and catch up. That's the only way you're going to catch up unless you get a caution. And right now, with the way the field's spread out, that might not actually be a good situation. Anyway, Sean Angel now has an issue. He was leading earlier, Sean Angel was, and that's not good for the Koenigsegg Agera team. Not very good as Tyler Faber comes up to try and lap Bezyanov, and Bezyanov's not going to be a very good back marker as Faber, well, yeah, Bezyanov tried to get out of the way, so I can't really fault him too much for that. The next car that would be an issue would be Blaze McKinney's Mick Baxter's car again. Seems like we're getting a lot of these repeat lap things as well. Pretty much he's been a pretty good back marker all day, McKinney has been. McKinney's been a class act despite not being in a very good car, to be honest with you. There are rumors that there could be some driver changes once Europe, or in the middle of the European Tour, once they come back from the European Tour. McKinney could be a possibility to maybe get a better ride, or get an offer from a better team if one of these other drivers continues to not support well. I'm hearing that Aldra Baranowskis might be under a bit of threat with Porsche. Yamatoshi, on the other hand, well, is proving that she probably shouldn't even be in the series. I'm not sure if that's a boy or a girl, to be honest with you. I don't know much about him or her, about Yamatoshi. And he is proving that they probably shouldn't even be in the series, let alone in the Baxter car, which is not the fastest car around, but not the fastest car around, to be honest. It is the slowest. Bezyanov has been pretty good in his ARCSAW career, in his Orion's Elite Series career, except now he's being a little bit more of a nuisance. Tyler Faber has led pretty much from the start of this run here, but now he's starting to get a run. You're starting to see a run by the inside by Griffin and maybe the 18 car, as Madeline Myatt now is in this lead pack, which is interesting, as Myatt had caught them when they were catching Bezyanov. Myatt caught the pack, and they lost another car in that lead group. So Madeline Myatt now is holding on for dear life into that pack, as they lost, actually, that Red Bull back there. Here's R2 Nakula going a lap down. Nakula, I think, had a tire go down, and Nakula has not been very strong. Nakula is another one that could be under threat with S3, possibly, for not performing well, although S3 in general has been a bit of a disappointment so far at the start of this season. They're going to be, I think, in the qualifier. Remember, the top 35 move on in points after this race, so get to be within the top 35 to be locked into Mallory Park, even though if there was one race a lot of these drivers wish they would skip would be Mallory Park. Here comes Madeline Maya trying up the inside of Noah Hart, but that didn't work out well. Nick Pericles would be the first, actually would have a tire go down and would need to pit, but luckily we are coming near pit stop cycle, so it's not going to hurt Pericles that bad. As you saw, Madeline Maya and the 18 were coming in the next lap. And here's Baranowskis. Baranowskis needs a good run, to be honest with you. But very strategically, the 11 and the 18 are pitting again at the same time, as here comes the 82 is going to use Chris Dodd as a pick to get by Faber. And Faber makes a late move onto pit road. That was a late move, and he just barely gets it down to speed limit. So Faber does pit that time. That is kind of an aggressive pit call there by Faber, but now pretty much everybody except for Ethan Moore and Jack Water are pitting now this time. Ethan Moore and Jack Water, they got held up by the cars coming down pit road, but Ethan Moore is going to be very interesting to watch here. Ethan Moore's going up way too fast onto pit road the next lap. That's going to be a speeding penalty. There's no way Ethan Moore made that speed stick, and if he did, then there's something wrong with the pit road speed limit reader, because that was way too fast on the pit road. Anyway, the 18 car now has caught the 82 car and is trying to pass him on the outside of the corner by using Dodd as a pick. Or that might be Arndt, actually. Yes, that is Arndt, not Dodd. I keep thinking Dodd is driving the 05 car. Now it's a 3-car battle at the front of the field because Tyler Faber had a really slow pit stop. And he's now battling with Nick Pericles for 5th. As we go through the order here, we're starting to see some of these drivers up the order here who are struggling a bit. But, there's Lethinen coming out of the pits and Padcar goes by. Rookie Madeline Myatt now is leading her first laps, I think, in the Orion Elites. Well, no, she led some in the American 700 last year, but Madeline Myatt's doing a great job leading this race with Noah Hart and Ryan Griffin. That is a pretty good stout pack, but they're going to be catching McKinney and Yamatoshi here shortly as Sanford's still on pit road. The Arndt car is being very nice to the 1 and the 8 car of Vincent Allen, as Tyler Faber actually is pulling a bit on them, and that's not what you want to do. Faber's car is so strong that it's pulling on that pack, as Noah Hart's going to try and make a big move here on the outside to get by the 82 and the 11. That's going to actually hurt them, though, even though Noah Hart's going to get a big lead out of this because those Baxter cars are very slow. The 82 and the 11 probably need to draft with Hart. And now Hart's by himself. Obviously, the 82 and the 11 are going to catch him. But will the pack behind them catch the 18 and the 11, or the 82 and the 11? I'm going to say maybe, but they didn't get held up as much as what I think the pack would have liked as well. And this pack's also being held up quite badly by the 2 flame cars. I mean, McKinney's at least trying to let people go, but he's got Yamatoshi to his outside, and Yamatoshi's been a complete clown and hasn't been able to make any moves. As Vincent Allen finally gets by on the inside, as I'm seeing McKinney's trying to get out of the way, but he's holding his line, and Yamatoshi's just racing these people like it's the last lap and they're battling for the lead. Ryan Griffin now, they've caught, Ryan Griffin, the race leader, has caught Jake Baskinger a lap car. Baskinger had a tire go down. It's not been a good season for Cathmax. Good start to the season for Cathmax. One of the premier teams have been struggling since the start of the season. Kyle Collins now, this is a pretty big pack, and they're catching them at a pretty alarming rate, the leaders. So you're going to see this pack, I think, is going to catch them at this rate. We might get a pack finish here, but Collins, Wilhoit, Bronk, Faber, Pericles, McCain. I see Vincent Allen in this pack. I think all of these drivers could have a shot to win this race if they play it out right, if there's no cautions, which I think everybody is surprised at the fact that there hasn't been a caution yet. We're coming toward the closing stages of this race. There's a handful of laps to go. We're beyond halfway, obviously, as Wilhoit leads this second pack around. Pericles once again would pit early, a couple laps early this time, and that's going to be an interesting pit call here because, remember, he had the tire go down. And Now you've got Madeline Myatt, who's been held up by Bezyanov, and that might not be good for Madeline Myatt. If I were the two leaders, I might be trail breaking a little bit, because you need as many cars as you can in that pack. And now, especially that you've got Faber leading the second pack, that's not good for certain drivers and certain... that's not good for the leading pack, because Faber is probably the fastest car on the track right now. William Brock, however, is now another car that's looking pretty strong. Brock has never won an Orion Elite Series race. There's Madeline Myatt and the 18 coming on pit road, as that's going to leave Ryan Griffin all by himself out there. It's amazing the way that the 18 and the 11 have been doing everything together. I wonder if that was planned maybe by Madeline Myatt's father, who's very close friends with Noah Hart, that maybe they would work together in this race. I don't know, because Madeline Myatt by far has been the fastest BFM car all day. Schock, I don't think, made the race, and Brock has been pretty much nowhere all day until the ending stages of this race. The entire second pack has now caught race leader Ryan Griffin, and they are all pitting together, so it's either the 18 and the 11 are going to have a pretty big lead here, or it's going to be a pretty close pack as McCain and Wilhoit stay out. That's an impressive pit call here. And Moore stays out as well. Ryan Griffin would rejoin the race here, and they're coming up on Thaber. Thaber gained a lot there. I think Thaber's going to be in the lead group. Pericles now is drafting with Noah Hart and Madeline Myatt to get up the order, and then there's the lap car here. So we're going to have a little bit of a pack here at the end of this race here as they all blast by Thaber, and the 18's going to take the lead here. And looks like the 11 is going to slot in behind the 82, and the 1's in here. So once again, the 82 and the 1 are together again on a super speedway, and we saw how that paid off at Daytona with the 1 winning. Even though these drivers don't like each other, that is a way that you could win this race. However, it is turning into a little bit of a fuel mileage race as well. And the drivers I'm watching are Tristan Wilhoit and Nathan McCain. They've pitted later than everybody else. So they, theoretically, if they save enough, could save fuel. I don't think the leaders can make it. Coming out of the pits, however, Kyle Collins would grenade his 3 car and fall out of the race, so one of the strong cars falls out, and Ethan Moore would have issues as well in the 93 car, so, and Moshe Gurian. So there's still a lot of little mechanical problems here, despite there not being a physical crash on track. This has been a very clean Talladega race, which is kind of surprising because we didn't really expect that from Talladega. And now you got Tyler Thaber making moves in the back, or in the back of that leading group here. Now Thaber does dispatch Noah Hart, and we're going to start seeing, I think, some of these drivers start working their way through the order here as the leading group now. Well, Thaber's now leading this race, and there's under 10 to go. Under 10 laps to go as Ryan Griffin gets held off by Bezyanov, but everybody in this lead pack is going to need to pit. Everyone in this lead pack is going to need to pit, especially the 18 and the 11 who pitted early, remember? They pitted earlier. And here's the 1 coming on pit road. Yeah, the 1 definitely needed a pit because he was way early coming down due to that tire thing, and now he's going to be coming on with no one. So he's going to need to try and find a drafting partner if he's going to have any chance at this race, unless if there's a caution, of course. But Madeline Myatt, Noah Hart, and Tyler Thaber are kind of splitting off from Ryan Griffin, and that's going to be important here as this race continues. Noah Hart's, of course, won a number of races, I think even at Talladega, and then Madeline Myatt and Tyler Thaber have never won an an Orion Elite Series race. I keep saying ARCSA Elite Series. I apologize to the corporate sponsors at Orion Technologies. But, and then Ryan Griffin has won a championship before too, but it's amazing that Tyler Thaber has never won a series race. As here comes Pericles out of the pits. But Griffin now takes the lead with only a few laps to go, but there is a pit stop coming up. And that pit stop is going to determine quite a lot here. Who will be in contention for this race win? Also, you've got Wilhoit and McCain, who could theoretically make it. But they've got to save fuel and keep drafting, and they're working with William Brock and a couple other cars to do that. And that's going to be very important. They've got to really dial back their pace if they're going to try this out. Wilhoit or McCain could snooker this win. Griffin continues to lead this race as they're coming up actually to a pretty big pack now, as Saber is now going for the lead on the inside of Noah, or with the inside help of Noah Hart and Madeline Myatt. This is where pit stops are starting to be expected. Here comes the 18 and the 11 down pit road. So we're starting to see that as now the 73 and the 82 get held up by McKinney a little bit there, and Yamatoshi's also up the order. That's going to be very difficult. Well, Yamatoshi at least was somewhat courteous there and let them by, but we do know they were held up there. That could be a big advantage for someone like Madeline Myatt or Noah Hart, who were not in that lead group. Now Nathan McCain is in this lead pack. Will Hoyt has dropped out of it, I think, to try and save fuel. So Will Hoyt's, I think, going to try and do a fuel run here and maybe make this work. Because he's not going full throttle around this track. He's only going about 75% throttle right now. Leaders, Griffin and Saber are coming down pit road with pretty much everybody else except for Nathan McCain, obviously Pericles, and Tristan Will Hoyt. They're staying out. So I think they might try something here. That's going to be a very interesting thing, as McCain now is by far the leader of this race by a good margin now over Will Hoyt. However, does McCain have enough fuel to make it to the end? Does he have enough fuel? He's been working with Pericles a bit here. They will have some lapped traffic maybe to draft off of if McCain really wants to. But at the end of this race, McCain could snooker a win here, as Noah Hart's got a big lead over Madeline Myatt coming out of the pits. And in comparison to where Griffin is, I think that might end up being a pretty big benefit there, as a bunch of cars are still on pit road. Oh, here comes McCain and Will Hoyt, and they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it on fuel, so their pit little strategy is not going to work, as Saber is stuck behind Dodd. Griffin has clear track in front of him. The 18 has let off to let the 11 catch him. So with only 2.5 laps to go, Griffin's got a big lead over Saber, who's held up by Dodd, and then the 18 and the 11 are there. And I think they're just going to shove Dodd along to catch Ryan Griffin, who's all by himself with this lead of this race with only 2 laps to go. That is not going to work well for Griffin. They're going to catch him pretty quickly there. There's Will Hoyt coming out of the pits. Looking to see where McCain is, because McCain's technically still the leader. And they blast by Nathan McCain. And now Madeline Myatt shoving Tyler Saber along. Madeline Myatt and Saber have never won an Orion Elite Series race. Saber has been in this series many years and has not won one. As Saber's going for it down low with only a lap and a third to go, Tyler Saber's going to take the lead. Coming to the white flag, but then you've got Madeline Myatt back there trying something maybe. It's going to be Saber versus Myatt versus Hart versus Griffin for the final lap here. We saw a pretty chaotic finish at Daytona. Here comes the 18 down low on Madeline Myatt. It looks like the 18 has now vacated that peace treaty he had with her. And now the 18's trying to do something, but it looks like the 73 might get a bit of a draft from the lap car in front of him. Tyler Saber has gone since Season 5 without an Orion Elite Series victory, and he's pulling on the 18 car because he's got drafting help, a little bit of drafting help from Ryan Matthews. Tyler Saber is finally going to pick up an Orion Elite Series victory here at Talladega. Saber wins the round of Alabama here at Talladega. The Koenigsegg Agera made it all the way around here. And Noah Hart's going to come home second, Ryan Griffin third, Madeline Myatt fourth, Nick Pericles fifth, McCain sixth, Brock seventh, Olson's a lap down, Will Hoyt's eighth, Vincent Allen's ninth, and 10th place is going to go to Roman Rahal. What a good showing there. There's Baranowski's 11th. Baranowski sure needed that. And as we go through the order, Callum Lucas comes up, rebounds to 14th, Vander Pesch was 13th, and Tanya Jackwaters 15th. But we are going to go down to your full finishing results. Unfortunately, there's no anthem for New Jersey. New Jersey doesn't have an anthem, so Tyler Saber wins the race, Noah Hart second, Ryan Griffin third, Madeline Myatt fourth, Nick Pericles fifth, Nathan McCain sixth, William Brock seventh, Will Hoyt eighth, Allen ninth, Rahal 10th, Baranowski's 11th, 12th goes to Shelton, 13th Vander Pesch, 14th goes to Lucas, 15th to Jackwater, 16th to Ekdahl, 17th to Perkins, 18th to Jacob Hart, 19th to Vincent Allen, 20th to Eddie Schempecker. Oh, it looks like Eugene DeMax is leaving the pits. Lethinen 21st, Matthews 22nd, Dodd 23rd, Baskinger 24th, Paulson 25th, DJ Curtis 26th, a lap down in the Petronas Honda, 27th to Nakua, 28th to John Arndt, and there's Eugene DeMax leaving the pits. And like I said, it's a pretty big day for Tyler Thaber as we're waiting for the scroll down to take place for the rest of the qualifying order. A great day by Thaber, to be honest with you, for the driver from New Jersey finally picking up a win. Nopia Finland's first win. Anyway, let's get back to the results. 29th to Michaels, 30th to DeMax, 31st to Gurian, 32nd to Bezyanov, 33rd to Yamatoshi, 34th to McKinney, 35th to Ethan Moore, 36th to Kyle Collins, 37th to Charles Sanford, 38th to Chris Washer, 39th to Sean Angel, and 40th to Ben Atkins. With that being said, I don't think there's much to say now, as the top 35 is going to be locked in owner points, or in driver points. You can see that on the website, who will be locked into Mallory Park. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to go to the round of Great Britain next for the beginning of the European Tour. Congratulations to Tyler Thaber on his first victory.